Their colors up too, spawning here in the lower left corner of the map in Game 2 in the best of 5 semifinals for the Starbow Ladder Cup Finals. It is the Blue Zerg TEHREDBANDIT.
Nipper writes as the Red Protoss, it is RSVP.
I want to kind of cue up the William Tell overture. You know, the dun 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 dun, like every time we introduce Red Bandit.
I guess so. Apparently he's like a campy bandit now.
I guess, I don't know. Now what's kind of interesting, guys, is, again, we have a delay running on stream. And it was, of course, mostly at the request of Red Bandit, not trying to paint him to be a scumbag or anything like that, but I kind of understand why now, too. If he's been saving any sort of weird builds, if he's doing anything that requires not to be scouted, it's imperative that there's not even the chance that somebody could accidentally glance to the side and be like, oh, yeah, that's what he's doing. So that was really cool out of him, faking the Hydralisk bust, because again, it's something we've seen multiple times in Starbow, and I'm talking like in the Ladder Cup Finals, in the odd match off to the side that we've seen on the Starbow actual channel, casting their the odd games there, combined with the Invitational, is just Hydra bust, Hydra bust, Hydra bust, you know, over and over and over again. So I'm pretty sure RSVP was thinking, yep, here we go, classic step one, and nope, crazy Mutalisks.
Yeah. Not to mention, he had the plan to go into lurkers had those mutas been thwarted, but instead he found those pylons, and he may have not been paying attention because it seemed like kind of game over right there, but he was making more mutas, actually. He only made like 1 or 2 lurkers, and then he realized the mutas are doing enough damage. Let's just continue with those.
Yeah, and the problem with Mutalisks too, I mean, some of the biggest threats to them haven't really subsided. Let's not forget, a Corsair is way more deadly than a Phoenix ever could be for StarCraft. You've got things like Archon still available, and Storms deal more damage in Starbow. I mean, there's a lot of things that could have differently reacted to Mutalisks, but perhaps not that early, not without the proper knowledge of it coming. But I do want to stress everybody who may be seeing Starbow for the first time, that game looked really OP, like, oh, GG Mutalisks, what do I do? But if you've never seen a Corsair wreck Mutalisks, I implore you to keep watching more Starbow, because it does happen.
We'll have to see how RSVP takes that last loss as well, if he's going to change it up. Last time he just did very, like 2 Zealot poke into the charge because he needed it for, or the speed rather, it's not charge. He needed it for the Hydralisk, but that wasn't really there. He's going to be a lot more careful about
Spreading his gateways.
Switching. Well, okay, besides that, but also tech switching, because it's not that he, like, if he sees a Hydralisk den, he can't just be like, oh, it's a fake again, because then that's when RSVP actually does it, you know? So he's just got to be, like, really, really on point with catching up to the tech switches that RSVP, or TEHREDBANDIT does. Ugh.
Well, it takes a quicker third. This is actually something that's very problematic. Yesterday, we saw a couple players doing this where, alright, granted, he's already got speedlings out, guys, but that's because it's Red Bandit. There's no other Zerg player, I think, that constantly goes for faster speed than him, but we saw a lot of earlier third bases just lead to defeat, not having enough units out. Whoa, canceling that gateway. Was that a mistake?
Looks like it.
I guess maybe he was getting a second one down in case he scouted aggression, pumping out double zealots, maybe? I don't know. That had to be, yeah, the Cybercore being so late, that must have been an accidental whoopsie, though.
Yeah, it's, I mean, like, yeah, okay. Well, anyways, much different game as dictated by TEHREDBANDIT. What was so great about that last game is not only, like, you know, his idea and his aggression, but that really set him up for the entire series. That was like, I'm in control here and you're gonna deal with it. So that's why he changed it up. It's the faster third.
Oh, dude, by the way, I'm like really bummed we didn't get a lot of Terran players through, because I think it was Alpha Squad showed us, no, not Alpha Squad, Capricious yesterday in the qualifiers. Do you know how fast nukes are in Starbow now?
No.
Freaking quick, like a 3-second like nuclear launch detected, 1, 2, 3, boom.
Oh my god, that seems powerful.
I think it was to make up for the removal of the Marauder entirely from the game, but
oh, well, that's a weird way to make it up.
Well, it does. I don't know. It was pretty crazy to watch. It was really fun, and I only bring it up because Red Bandit actually was the one who got nuked yesterday, and as a Terran fan. I was gonna say fellow, so that's why I could tell. I don't know where I was going with that, but I thought you'd enjoy hearing the crazy nuke story. At any rate, though, we got these Zerglings dancing with the Zealots right now. They are pretty strong when microed correctly, and we see, unfortunately, Red Bandit has to disengage with 2 non-existent Zerglings.
I wasn't really sure what happened there. It looked like RSVP had exactly 8 Zerglings, 8 to 10 even, and the Zealot still gets out with actually a lot of life. It was like,
it's, well,
too good?
I think a big part of it too is the fact that he was able to just constantly back up and swipe rather than sit there and eat the hits like this.
Yeah, this micro too good. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be charge again. Our speed. Ugh.
Well, you
It's a charge icon, all right. Like,
I know. I always go for that too. The leg enhancements I've been trying to force myself to say, but you know, this is, I'd say, almost critical. Zelts are always going to be a big part of a Protoss army, I think, especially versus Zerg, because A, they're cheap, B, they hit really hard, and C, as we just saw, they've got a lot of HP that can take the damage. Now, later on, eventually, you know, Ultras will come out and everything changes around a little bit, but in the early game, I really shy of, like, even Lurkers to an extent. I don't know anything that really tangles with Zealots too well, so investing in them early like this can be very dangerous, because even though we have a Spire coming out, the Mutalisk Swarm is not going to clean up, say, 15 Zealots attacking a third base before they can knock it down.
right. We see that commonly. It's pretty much like in ZvZ when someone goes Mutas, another person goes Roaches, and there's like that Roach attack that buys enough time for them to get up defenses at home. Pretty much what happens here. A bunch of Zealots can't be dealt with, and they take up enough time of the Mutas that you get your Blink Stalkers, your Tech out, your Cannons up, and stuff like that. But we actually have Banelings out, which can be very effective.
It's, again, like Red Bandit, if we were to like allude him to like any regular StarCraft player, the closest I would say is like TLO. Because Red Bandit builds units that nobody else does, and he uses them in ways people don't. Banelings have just been kind of shunned when it comes to Starbow. You really don't see many, if any, made in most of these games. But as we see, they'll be able to apply a little bit of splash damage to these Zealots, and these Zerglings, granted, they just can't take on this many.
They're buying a lot of time, though. I mean, by now you think, oh, the Lings would be dead and he'd be attacking that hatchery, but he has to constantly back up because he's hesitant to like just split as like a Marine Force would, or you know, just a micro one-off, which he tried to do, but it wasn't successful.
This all stands around. It is odd watching them move this fast if you're a regular StarCraft fan, but I like this dive for the Banelings. They've certainly got the DPS to kill them, and they can eat more than one at a time.
Well, just all, you know, that's a free splash, you know, it's a free hit. Baneling gone, only one Zealot dead. It's nice. Oh, Stalker's even joining up here. I thought they were going to be used purely for the defense.
This is actually looking a little bit rough here for Bandit. He's stocked up a couple of Mutalisks, but here are those Stalkers. If you get on top of them with the Lings, they'll be busy walking away and too busy to shoot the Mutas. But as the Zealots say, you know what, I can't help out here anyways, let's just go be a threat elsewhere, go straight for that mineral line. And while the Mutas spend their time chasing these Stalkers, well, actually a couple of them to go down.
Back at home. Jones alive. He has another base to send them to, so they can continue mining. Finally, the Muta counts are to get up high enough that they're taking down Zealots, and of course that Queen Enrage.
Yeah, Queen Enrage is so funny to watch because it does so much more damage to units that it normally would do absolutely nothing to in StarCraft. But yeah, it's going to be a crazy amount of Mutalisks again, and he's opting to go for Blink Stalkers. Now, again, Blink Stalkers in this massive quantity, they can deal with this, but I don't know. Archon, okay, there we go. A couple Templar being built. I was going to say, an Archon Splash or two can always be really well handled. I didn't realize until yesterday. You know they gave Mutalisks a 0.5 range extension in Starbow?
No.
It's just like the weirdest. No, it's just they've got 3.5 range instead of 3. It's weird. Not a big deal.
I think, like, I don't know. I've always noticed it because they seem like so much easier to micro, but I was like, oh, maybe it's like some other thing, like their acceleration or something.
Yeah, it's so weird that 0.5 range would make such a difference. But hang on, these Templar actually don't have Storm Research or anything. They got to merge. There we go. Now kiss.
No kiss. No one uses that image anymore.
Now, actually, I like the Dark Templar coming up behind this too. Not only can these be used for more Archons if necessary, but you can send them across the map. You can start trying to counterattack, I suppose. And there's no Spore Crawlers, and Overseers can be made, sure. There's a couple in the main, but a lot of exposed areas where DTs could do some real damage.
Now, of course, they have to walk across the map, which is already pretty good. You know, you can see them. They can accidentally swipe at a Ling or something like that. It's a good thing about having no warp-ins.
You know, he's actually not killed too many probes at this point, too. Up to 13 kills. Now he's going to start racking those kills up as the Stalkers leave the natural base to defend the third. But, I mean, cannons will help a bit. I guess they've driven them off for the time being, but these will heal up pretty quickly, and he'll be able to go back for round 2 again afterwards. Lurkers are morphing in behind this, though. This is something that may end up working out fantastic, because there's not going to be any detection for RSVP. The observatory has not even been constructed yet. He's got a robot that can't make anything. Aside from cannons, he has no detection.
That is a big problem. And it's not like Lurkers are unheard of in ZvP. That can be a big problem. But RSVP has a big army. He's going to take on this third.
I think they're less common, though, because they're just not as, like, you know, they wreck Marines, but they kind of tickle everything else. Stalkers do take some pretty big damage, though, as we see.
This forces him to back up. You know, he gets that again. He gets that third for free. That was kind of guaranteed. As the Red Bandit wasn't in position to stop that from happening.
It's not going up very fast though. Let's not forget, Stalkers have had their damage neutered a little bit. They don't get bonus versus armored or anything like we're used to seeing in regular StarCraft. But you're right, going down slowly but surely. He cleans up that DT too. Just a side note with those lurkers, so really well handled.
Or maybe trying to catch them on their retreat, or maybe do a counterattack.
He has left one here. Maybe his idea is that the spikes will scare away RSVP? He's blink over top of him though.
I don't know. One, like seriously, in Starbow too, like in Brood War they're like really, really scary, but in Starbow actually the lurker spines are so slow, I guess. Like they don't think it's scary. But yeah, he backs up anyways. He has to deal with this.
Yeah, takes out the cannon right away. Fortunately there's another one, but let's not forget guys too, the cannon range in Starbow is significantly smaller, especially the detection range as well. Normally this would be clear in view of a cannon in StarCraft 2, but in Starbow it's a little bit different. Now, he does lose pretty much all of his Mutalisks at this point. A kind of a waste because that takes away a lot of his harass potential, but the lurkers, there's still no observer, it's on the way. This Nexus...
Oh, finally the observer's on the way.
I don't think... Yeah,
it might go down.
I don't know, it's gonna be close. I mean, he's not chronoing it out, he's gotta fly all the way over. It's weird because there's one lurker DPS. Like, move the other one in.
Yeah, well, as soon as he raises that one, like, all it needs is RSVP to notice. He's dead.
There's no way. If this dies, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't. There we go.
But if he had done this earlier, this would have been a for sure kill, right? Where's that? It's slowly. Oh my god. Move faster! Move faster! You need to save your Nexus!
Oh my god. Oh my god. Here it comes. 3, 2.
Okay, he's not gonna get it. No way he gets this. Alright, cool. Deep breaths. But man, those sure take a lot of hits to kill from combination goons and stalkers. This army from RSVP though, the army supply in general is out of control. What does Red Bandit have at home? No spine crawlers, a couple lurkers, lots of hydralisks, but it's 76 supply with 1/1 upgrades over 34. This doesn't look good for Red Bandit no matter how you look at this picture.
Oh no. No, it does not.
Oh, this poor lurker. What are you doing?
Where are you going, buddy? Where are you going? You're gonna reveal that you have a base up there. Good job.
Actually, it doesn't follow, so... Alright, it kind of clues in afterwards, like, wait a minute, where could that lurker be going? But, just decides to press the front, and that's perfectly fine. The Observer is with the army now, so he couldn't see this initially, but now can, and this army is just looking a little too big. Maybe if there was Dark Swarms, maybe if there's something else, but Red Bandit just falls short. GG. And RSVP will tie the series up 1-1.